Hey there, everybody, and welcome to another episode of Punchboard Parade. This is the show where various members of the Punchboard Media network come together to talk about a shared topic. This week, since it is Thanksgiving and under normal circumstances we'd be getting together with family and friends, we decided our topic this week is going to be games that you would play with those of us that aren't necessarily gamers. Games you would play with your family when you have larger events or other events that you're getting together, hanging out with people that don't play games on a regular basis. Now, when it comes to me, the game that right now my family and I are playing the most is Impact, or also if you see Strike. A lot of people like Strike, and it's just now being coming back in the reprinted form. I like this game because it's really simple. Everyone has a bunch of dice, and you're chucking dice into this little arena. So you're trying to get matching sides, and if you get matching sides, then you get all the dice in the bowl, and you're trying to get all the dice and eliminate all the other people. But it's a lot of just very random dice chucking, and it doesn't take a lot of thought thinking. This is definitely something at the end of the night when we've been out running around for all the holidays. When I'm with my family, we'll just sit down and be like, you know what, let's just throw dice in here and just kind of laugh when people are not throwing them out of the bowl or whatever. So Impact, or preferably Strike, because it's got a bigger arena, are great for these things. You can see Strike, I know, at Target now. So if you see it, pick it up and you will have a great time with your family. Another thing I like to do at Thanksgiving is I have a bunch of cousins that are in like the upper teens and, lower 20s, and also like to get into these types of games. They play a lot of video games. And so Thanksgiving is my chance for them to be like, hey, let me show you a board game, that kind of thing. So another great thing for this that I've been wanting to show is you got Funkoverse now. This is a great kind of intro into kind of that miniatures type of gaming, but yet it's got Funko Pops, and you're playing with, you've got like the Kool-Aid Man and Batman and Robin and Rick and Morty and like the shark from Jaws all fighting together. It looks really random and chaotic, and that's why I think it works so great. So if you have those kinds of friends or family members that are kind of maybe more video gamers, then you could play up to like 4 to 6, depending on how big of a board and how many characters you have. Then I would definitely recommend checking out Funkoverse. You can also find this at a lot of Target, GameStop, Walmart types of places. So that's my suggestions for this week. Now we're going to turn it over to everybody else and see what they thought.
What's up, board game fam? I am here for another episode of Punchboard Parade, and by I mean Eric Buscemi, aka the Cardboard Horde, and this time we are talking about games that are good to play with non-gamers. Now, the reason that this topic came up a month or so back for us to choose it for this Punchboard Parade was that Thanksgiving was coming up. That being said, with everything that's going on with the COVID cases rising, we are not recommending visiting people for Thanksgiving. So just put these in your back pocket, or if you have people in your house that may not be gamers that you think may enjoy this, like if you're quarantining with grandma. So I have one I want to talk about, but first I have an honorable mention, and that is Tumbling Dice. That's a game from Eagle Griffin. It's a big table presence game where you're chucking dice. It's very luck intensive, some dexterity elements, trying to get it down a tiered ladder to get more and more points, but it also depends on what side the die comes up, because you just multiply it by that. Highly recommend that one, but it's expensive. It's, as you could probably tell from me holding up, in a big heavy box. It takes some work to put together. So yes, it's great for non-gamers. I always bust it out when I have a Super Bowl party. It has some table presence, brings people over to it, people play around with it, and and it's great. But like I said, not perfect for every situation, not super portable, not easy to travel with for anyone that's traveling these days. So the game that jumped to my mind even more than Tumbling Dice was this game from Cosmos, Drop It. Now, if you're familiar with Plinko or Connect 4, you'll have a basic idea what's going on here. You're dropping in these tangram shapes of your color into a vertical clear thing, and the higher up you get on that, the more points you're going to score. But the catch to the game is that you can't touch your own color and you can't touch a like shape. So if you're dropping a triangle, you can't touch any other triangles or you'll score nothing. And you can't touch any of your previous pieces, which are the same color. So one reason I want to recommend this for non-gamers is that it's super easy to explain, super easy to teach, fun to play, easy to score, 20 minutes, maybe 30, 4-player game. Speaking of player count, another reason this is a great game for non-gamers is you want to play this at the full 4-player count. This is like nearly imperative for this game. It plays 2 to 4. If you play it at 2, you're each going to get 2 colors, so it does get a little more confusing. I'm yellow and red, you're blue and green. I know it's my turn. Do I go with yellow? Now we got to count them now. And if you play with 3, you got to divide up the 4th color. So everyone gets a few pieces of the 4th color. It's kind of a mess. You don't play it at the full 4-player count. You won't regret it. And like I said, anyone can play it. It's great game at 4 players. So you want to play Drop It. You want to play it at 4 players. Like I said, if this were a case where we were going to be traveling, you could put this game out on the table and people could cycle in and out of Thanksgiving, while you're waiting for that turkey to cook, because it always takes an hour or 2 longer than you think it's gonna. But even you have a family of 4, like I said, you're quarantining with parents, grandparents, whatever. This is definitely one to check out. It's now I know you're dropping things, like I said, but it's not a dexterity game. It's really it's lucky. You have some idea. Okay, there's a bunch of circles on top of the thing right now, so I don't want to drop a circle in, or I'll get 0. So maybe I'll drop in this trapezoid piece. But all right, I gotta kind of aim for the right side of the board, because the left side of the board, there's a piece of mine there. I don't want that to touch. But they bounce around, so sometimes the best laid plans go awry, and that's what makes the game fun, and what makes it great for non-gamers is that luck element, and and especially with the scoring going up as the game goes on, you can almost always come back on your last turn. If someone, I got 0 points, and then it's like, I just got 8, boom, you can catch up. So again, this is Drop It, published by Cosmos, designed by Bernard Locke and Uwe Rapp. Highly recommend this. Like I said, best at 4 players, good at 2, wouldn't recommend it at 3. Great for people that don't play board games, great for families. And that is my recommendation for this month's Punchboard Parade. Talk to y'all next time.
Oh, hi. Well, I got a call today again to tell you something. We are finding, games that you can play in this holiday season with your family that are welcome for everyone. So I was thinking in a lot of games, quite a lot of games, but I had to narrow it down. So I had 2 choices, almost 3, that I want you to think about. So one, it's Suro. Suro is a game from Calliope Games. This is a really easy to explain game where you are just laying tiles around the board, and each tile has to be connected to the previous one, so it doesn't have any text. You can be playing with anyone from 3 to 99 years old, and what you're doing is just drawing the path of your life, or drawing a path And in this path, the player that lasts the longer on the board will win. So it's easy to play. You grab a tile, you put a tile, you follow the path, and that's it. So Zuro is one of the 2 recommendations that I have for you. It's a very welcoming game for everyone, and I also decided to bring this one, or these 2. Roll for It is a game for up to 4 players. So with this you have up to 8 players. That is also something I didn't say. This game is for up to 8 players. So 8 family members can be playing Zuro. So you don't want to have a big crowd because, you know, of all the pandemic. You can play 2, you can play 3, you can play 4. Please be cautious. And well, as I was saying, Roll for It, it's also a game. It's for up to 4 players each one, so you can play up to 8. And what you're doing is literally you are rolling for it. You have dice of your color, every player chooses a color, and then you put cards on the middle of the table. You are rolling the dice and you are trying to pick the dice according to the card that you want to grab. Each card has a different point value, so the player with the most points at the end of the game will be the winner. Easy to play, easy to explain. You will see, believe me. So it's another very welcoming game for everyone to play. Well, I think this is all of my time. My name is Oscar Gonzalez. I am El Dog Logan. I am part of the Punchboard Media, and well, stay safe. Thank you for coming, and hope to see you later. Remember to play something different. See ya.
Hey, board gamers, BJ from Board Game Gumbo here, back with another episode of Punchboard Parade, talking about games to take on the holidays with your family and friends. And maybe they're not all gamers. The category that I think fits the best, anything to do with cards. And there's tons of games out there that we could talk about, from No Thanks to For Sale to Fuji Flush, that over the years I've brought to gamers. But one in particular recently has been a big hit, and that one's called Delt. It's a 2018 game known in Germany as Kraskariet, but here in America, Amigo is releasing it as Delt. And basically it's one of these don't touch the card type of games. If you've ever played Bonanza, you're going to be familiar with some of the mechanics, but it's going to kind of blow some of the people's minds as you show them to your family and friends. And I think that's what you want. You want to show a card game that does something really different, something that they haven't seen before. The way the game plays is very simple. Cards are going to be dealt out to everybody, and they're going to have the cards in a line, and they can't shuffle or move the cards around. They've got a couple of cards in reserve that they can also use if they need to bring cards in. But basically, it's one of those games where you're trying to be the first player to get out, and what you really don't want is to be the last player to play the card. It's quick, it's easy, it's fun to teach, it's got big, bright colors. It's a game that your family and friends are going to pick up really quick. We've played this a lot with family members that don't play a lot of hobby games, and it's been a big hit. So that's the one I would look at. I'd look at Delt from Amigo. You can find it in stores right now. And until next time, laissez le bon temps rouler.
Hey gang, this is Patrick Hillier for another recording, an attempt at doing a video for Punchboard Media. This month is gaming with new people, and I thought I'd talk about my friend Steven's Game Night Light event. We used to do this about once a month, and it was really designed for kind of like couples, and sometimes there were some teens there, and it was really mostly people that didn't play a lot of games, and we were encouraged to be lighter gaming, and we had a lot of fun. Of course, the other thing that they did is they had a really cute puppy that really adored me, and I adored it. So I got to see their new puppy growing up, and got to pet it, and it sat in my lap when I was taking my turn. So anyway, some of the games that we got to play at Stevens were things like Horrified. Horrified is a cooperative game. Cooperative games are really great for new players because it's a team game and everyone, is working together. If you're a new player, you can participate as little as you want or as much as you want. If it's your turn, you can ask for help from the group, or you can take the whole turn yourself and work as a group. So you're not, if you're overwhelmed, you can ask for help, or if you really know what you're doing and you get in the game, then you can just, take your turn as normal. So I think co-ops really work really well for new players in a situation like that. Another one we've really been enjoying would be Wits and Wagers, which is, there's a newer version that's a Vegas version. And Wits and Wagers is basically a trivia game, and those have been around forever, right? But the nice thing about this one is you'll be asked a trivia question that you really don't have a clue what the answer is to. So you'll they're all number based. So you put a number down, and then everyone will flip over their numbers, and they'll put in numerical order. And then part 2 is betting on who you think is really the right answer. That's where the game is. And, if you really think that Cindy is kind of good at trivia and things like that, so everyone generally bets on her. And if you don't think you know the answer, then you can at least get some points betting on the person who really knows the right answer. So this game is a lot of fun because you get some weird questions and laughing at the weird answers. And of course, with the betting round, trying to guess if the answer is close, but not going over and that sort of thing. Just One is just a great kind of a party style game. We split into 2 teams. The guesser on one team has a card in front of them they cannot see with a series of words on it. You pick one of them, and the rest of the team has to write one word on their little easels to have the guesser guess what word is in front of them. The twist of the game is if any of them, because they're all writing that down at the same time, write the same word, they get canceled out, and the guesser doesn't get to see them. So there might be 4 or 5 people writing down words. 1 or 2 or 3 get them canceled out, and sometimes you'll only get 1 or even none. No answers, no suggestions as to what your word is, and you have no idea what you're supposed to write. Anyway, this is a great game. It's readily available right now. A new one that my wife and I have been really enjoying is called Nova Luna. It's playable with multiple players, but we've been playing it a lot 2-player. Now, this falls in the category of tableau building, draw a tile, play a tile, right? So the tiles are all in a circle. You get to take one of the next 3 tiles and put it in your tableau. The tiles have colors on them saying if you can put, like, say, a orange or a blue tile next to this green tile that you drew, you're going to take one of your discs that you have and put it onto that tile. Once you get all your discs out onto the tableau, the game is over. It's pretty straightforward, but there's a lot of strategy that we've found in what tiles you draw, how far it moves you on the time track, where the next player is going to go after you go, whether or not you can get to go again before them. We've had a lot of fun with it. We've played it a lot because it's just been the 2 of us, but also because we've really enjoyed it a lot. And it's pretty abstract. It's been a lot of fun. That's Nova Luna. And I can't really talk about games with new people and not talk about No Thanks. No Thanks is cards and little tiddlywink poker chips. Cards are numbered 3 to 34. If you get a card, it's negative points. You're trying not to take any cards. A card gets flipped over and it gets passed around the table. If you don't want it, you just have to put a poker chip on it. You start with 11 of them and you pass it to the player next to you, and you say no thanks, and it continues around the table. But eventually you're going to run out of poker chips and have to take a card. So if it comes around the table and it's got a bunch of poker chips on it, you might take it just to keep some supply in poker chips in your hand, because eventually you're going to have to take some. And it's a low card because eventually the higher number cards are going to come out. The other twist is if you get a streak of cards, like say 20, 21, 22, only the 20 counts. So if you have the 20 and the 22 and the 21 comes out, you want that because it's going to connect those other two cards, and you're only going to get negative 20 points. But the 21 is kind of a bad card, so it might go around the table once and get a bunch of chips on it. So you might say, oh, I'll let it go around the table so I can get some more poker chips. Those are also positive points at the end of the game to offset your negative points. But somebody might just take it just to spite you and, make sure you don't get it. So you'll get both negative 20 and negative 21 points. So what appears to be a really simple game has a lot of depth to it once you play it 2 or 3 times. And a lot of these are like that. They come across as really simple. They're really easy to teach. You play them multiple times with new people, and they start to get them, and they start to understand them, and they enjoy them, and they play them more. And then more emergent play comes out, which is just sort of a gamer speak for, complexity within what appears to be a simple game. So, hey, this is Patrick Hillier. You can hear me and Eric talking about board games on What Did You Play This Week podcast feed, or you can reach me on Twitter @OrTheHillier. Thanks.
Hello, Paul Shapiro from Board Game Squad, and I'm here to give you the best games for non-gamers. I think I have a little bit of a controversial perspective. I think a lot of people you'll see will recommend games like Azul, games like The Crew, games that are traditionally considered family-type games. My philosophy is that there will be people that will be interested in games and will want to continue to play games with you, and there will be people that won't be, that board gaming, at least hobby board gaming, is really not for them. So my goal with introducing games to non-gamers is to find who those people are so I can have more good times in the future. So to do that, I really try to bring games that are not too complex, but that appeal to me as well. So simpler games. So here is, this is probably a lesser known pick. This was put out by AEG, Atelier the Painter's Studio. It's this really interesting game. You roll a die, you place it might allow you to place a meeple out in a different pile, and then whoever has area majority in that different pile allows you to collect paint, and then you can use it to actually paint different paintings, which earn you points. It's I've had fun playing this with gamers that are not too hardcore and experienced players also. Next, I would actually put this into the family gaming category, but camera. There we go. So I do have a lot of fun playing this. This is probably my favorite family game, Quacks of Quedlinburg. So this is a push your luck bag building game. As you can see, it won the Kennerspiel des Jahres. It's an excellent game. I think I've never played this with someone who hasn't enjoyed it, and the rules are very simple to grasp. Lastly, and this is a little bit more complex than the other games, Viticulture. So Viticulture is a worker placement game from Stonemaier Games. It's, I'd say, on the lighter side of medium complexity. Although I think there's something very natural about worker placement that people can grasp, right? You have a worker, you put it on a spot, you get whatever was denoted by that spot. So I think worker placement and some other genres are just, very naturally easy for people to grasp. And, I don't think Viticulture is too complicated, and it's a decent game. It's not my favorite worker placement game by any means, but it's a good one, and it's a good one to find those people that are new to gaming that might consider taking a step up in complexity even.
All right, that wraps up another episode of Punchboard Parade. Sorry, Paul, his segment got a little chopped off. I in the file that he gave me, I don't know necessarily how that happened. But anyways, last time we had a giveaway for those that commented down below. I will post the winner right here. If this is you, make sure you email me, chris@boardsandswords.com, and I will get you a gift card, $20 gift card. Let me know in the email where you would like that to via Amazon, Board Game Bliss, or if there's another website that's more in your area, that's, you know, another country or something like that. Let me know in that email. For this month's giveaway, shout outs go to Chris Kirkman over at State of Games and the Dice Hate Me crew. They have sponsored this giveaway, and in fact, for anyone that comments down below, we will be choosing a random person out of those people, and you will be able to get a game from what's available in stock at the Greater Than Games website. Any game that's currently in stock. This is an awesome deal, so make sure you check out State of Games and make sure you comment down below so that you can get entered into that giveaway. Thanks again to Chris Kirkman and that crew for that. So thank you. Hope you enjoyed this episode. Let us know what you'd like to talk about in the future or what you do or don't like. Make sure you follow everyone that's participated. I've been linking all of their social media in their different segments. So thank you for watching, and we will see you next time.